All right, hello everybody. Here comes our secondary round of strong to severe thunderstorms moving in. Noticing a bit of rotation on one of the storms. Of course, that is to the west of us. Let's dive right into that and take a look. And it's going to be that storm near Haleyville. I'm noticing some broad rotation, and that storm it's going to be right over Haleyville. There's a severe thunderstorm warning out on that. This is our secondary round of stuff. It is supposed to weaken a bit as it moves to the east, but still can't rule out some damaging wind gusts and stuff. It should continue to weaken, though. However, there's a possibility of some damaging winds still. Looks like 70-mile-per-hour winds possible from that storm, and that's going to be for Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9:15 for southeastern Lauderdale and southeastern Colbert, eastern Franklin, and western Lawrence counties. At 8:50, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Florence to Russellville to Hamilton, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible, and penny-size hail. Areas impacted would be Mount Hope, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport, Littleville, LaGrange, Tharptown, Neesmith, Duketon, Russellville, Rockwood, and North Cortland. Also, keep your eye out for possible tornadoes. It does mention that in there. Tornadoes can develop quickly and sometimes even without warning. So let's take a look just to the east of Phil Campbell. Some really high winds, damaging winds rather, going to be moving into the Moulton area. Get ready. If you're in Moulton, you're about to be hit with a big blast of wind, possibly as high as 70 miles per hour. Going to go back here and take a look at that. Let's just see how high these winds are. We've got 61 miles per hour just southwest of Moulton, 65. I'm just kind of going around in here. So, yeah, 50 to 60 plus mile an hour winds is what's showing up in this storm. It's going right toward Moulton. Big downburst with this storm here, or outflow winds. Definitely going to pose a threat of some wind damage as it moves on into Moulton here pretty shortly. So get ready, Moulton. It's about to be very, very mean there. You got some really high winds, 65, maybe higher gusts embedded in there. There is a severe thunderstorm warning out. Very nice bow echo on this storm, and also been watching some rotation with it, as mentioned. Right over Haleyville, all these storms are due to this stalled out front, this stalled out cold front we got right here. And I don't see it moving very much. In fact, it's hardly moving at all. Stalled out. This will continue to bring us showers and storms daily, and of course some of those could be severe when we get daytime heating mixed in with it. Still seeing rotation over Haleyville here with this storm. Very obvious rotation with that near Haleyville. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That's moving toward the William B. Bankhead National Forest area. Nothing going on in Collinsville currently. Just now switch back to look at the chat. Everything's to the west. We do have some additional showers and storms developing, of course, along that front there, that stalled out front. And it is moving at some odd directions. These showers and storms here are moving off kind of toward the east northeast, and those will begin impacting areas of southern Marshall County shortly. But our main stuff's going to be with this line here, and whether it's able to hold up. I really don't think it'll be able to hold up much due to our atmosphere being worked over pretty good. 65 degrees outside, so it's not really, there's not really a lot there. We're going to be looking at more of a damaging wind threat. Embedded tornado, really low probability, but not zero. So that's why I said we'll keep an eye on it regardless. And all this is moving on off to the east. Still looking at broad rotation on this storm here. It's worth keeping an eye on near Sipsey Wilderness. Moving off to the east-northeast, looks like. New severe thunderstorm warning been extended on that. If that does continue to rotate and tighten up, there could be a tornado warning needed for that one. That's east of Haleyville. A lot of broad rotation in there. So definitely needs to be keeping an eye on that. I remember some certain people saying there was no threat of a tornado tonight. So that's why I said cannot ever give it all clear till it's out of here. Some really high winds still coming toward Moulton. Got a few more minutes. And there is some really high winds showing up. We'll switch another radar. So we got some 60, 65, 63. So basically within this whole line here that's coming toward Moulton, you're going to have 58 to 60 plus mile an hour winds anywhere in this little area. And that is still off to the southwest approaching Moulton. So it will be there pretty shortly. Starting to see them spread out a little bit. New warning out. That includes Hartselle, Falkville, Decatur, Priceville areas, Limestone, southwestern Limestone County, southeastern Colbert, northwestern Coleman County, eastern Franklin County, western Morgan County, and Lawrence County and northwestern Alabama, sorry. So 9:45, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Littleville to near Ash Ridge, moving east at 35 miles per hour. 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible with this. Areas impacted would be Mount Hope, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport, Trinity, Littleville, LaGrange, Falkville, Speake, Tharptown, Neesmith, and Basham. Considerable damage expected. Radar indicates some hail, less than an inch in diameter. Going to keep an eye on that. And also got to fix something in the chat real fast. Yes, all this will eventually move into our area. Let me take a look at the high resolution models. I can give you a better idea of when that might be. So it's still some nasty stuff starting to break up a little bit. I still think there will be some embedded cells that make it into Marshall County before it really weakens. That's why I'm keeping an eye on it. I do believe there will be some stronger cells making it in around Arab, Douglas area, maybe even as far as Boaz and Albertville. Kind of toward the southern part, because the northern part appears to be weakening. So I think it'll be kind of toward the southern part around Albertville, Douglas, Boaz, maybe even Arab. And depends on how far east this thing goes before it starts weakening. Of course, it will move into DeKalb County, but hopefully it'll just be some wind. I'm going to back it up and look at the newest high resolution models, and we'll get an idea of the new timeline. So it's showing this big batch of storms getting into northern and southern parts of Marshall County and even into Jackson County around approximately 10 o'clock. And then it shows it weakening out just big time as it enters into DeKalb County. It shows it really weakening out. Heavy rain, gusty winds. Some of those could be damaging around 11 o'clock. System completely starts moving out of our area with only some moderate to heavy rainfall around midnight. So this thing gets on out here around midnight, but it is on the way. And of course, these are only guidance computer model. It could do the opposite, but I think it's pretty much head on with it, what it's going to do. So it looks like anywhere around 10, 11 o'clock, as I've been saying, somewhere right in there. And we are still under a severe thunderstorm watch for another hour and 57 minutes. Some really high winds still showing up going toward Moulton. Those are going to probably cause some wind damage as quick as those are moving, most definitely. There's some 60s, maybe even 70s approaching Moulton right now. Looks like County Road 59, Muck City, around County Road 460, Landersville, Youngtown, County Road 59. Just some destructive winds about to move into Moulton. Like, these are really stout. Definitely wouldn't want to be in a mobile home with these kind of winds coming in Moulton. So they're on their way. Going to do a direct hit on Moulton, it looks like. So it's going to get very nasty there in Moulton here pretty shortly. Still seeing broad rotation. Looks like it's weakened down a good bit. It's kind of broadening on out. So that is good news. Also seeing a little bit of rotation with this storm near Cortland. It's kind of out ahead of everything. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one.
If that the fire was just off 222 where it turns into 209, doesn't know what kind of fire it is, just a default one.
So yeah, seeing some broad rotation now with the storm near Cortland. Still, these winds, my goodness, those are just really strong. I'm always clicking on that. I wish that wasn't even an option. I haven't figured out how to even make use out of that yet. These storms should be approaching Moulton any minute now. And along Highway 157, Highway 24 going into Moulton, and of course 157 going into Moulton. If you're going that way and you're driving on 157 toward Moulton or 24 toward Moulton, you might want to pull over a little bit because you're not going to be able to see. This rain's going to be torrential and the winds are going to be really rough. So if you can pull over, just wait this out till it moves over. Or if you got, in a sturdy structure or shelter, that would probably be a good idea with these kind of winds moving into Moulton currently. Definitely some destructive winds coming through there. So yeah, we got 60 plus still showing up on the radar, so I wouldn't doubt 70 miles per hour gust possible as it moves through Moulton. So this looks like a bit of outflow. Could be wrong, but I believe this outflow is going to control, and it does look like a good outflow with that. So yeah, the big area of outflow winds moving into Moulton. I believe these are pretty much going to be what's driving all this. So whichever direction this heads, that's going to be what needs to be watched. It looks like it's moving on off to the northeast, so that would put it going toward Priceville. Eventually, it would go up into Triano, Owens Crossroads, and then eventually possibly making it into Paint Rock, Woodville, and Gurley. So that's going to be a really nice bow echo. Still watching that storm near Cortland. It's still showing signs of broad rotation. So literally the highest winds with this whole system is now about to move into Moulton. And let me mention, there will be the possibility of some flash flooding with this stuff. I'm surprised I'm not already seeing reports of that. I actually am seeing reports of flash flooding. Never mind. Alright, so this stuff is now right on top of Moulton. And we do have some reports. If I can get them to actually come up and work. Alright, so this storm had a report of some rotation. They completely misspelled wall cloud, but it happens. And of course, that report was earlier. A lot of wind damage reports over in Mississippi. Seeing those as well. Also, some wind damage reports. Some very large trees reported down. It's not telling me exactly where. It's kind of to the southeast of Hamilton. As these storms roll through, I expect more reports to be coming in. You'll definitely get some storms through Langston here in the next couple hours, maybe hour or two. So you'll need to be paying attention. And looks like that big batch that you see on radar does make its way up that far. So we'll have to keep a close eye on it. Yeah, it has changed direction a bit. It's kind of moving east-northeast at this moment. You probably got another hour or two before it gets here, I'll say. Thanks, Ann. I appreciate it. I'm actually scrolling through everybody's comments because I didn't have time to look at any of them earlier. Nothing for Crossville yet, but we're waiting on it to come in. Yeah, I'm just exhausted. Was out doing some surveying out, which it's already been surveyed, already been confirmed as a tornado by Huntsville, so I'm a little bit late on it. But did get a lot of reports from people. Thank every one of you for sending those reports in. The damage in Crossville, that was with the last storms that we had come through. That actually ended up producing a tornado in Crossville. It literally was just right outside the city of Crossville, and it tracked on off to the, I believe it tracked on off kind of to the I'm trying to think. It was either to the southeast, I believe. I'm trying to get my, yeah, it tracked off to the southeast, um, and went down kind of towards Dawson and Collinsville areas. So yeah, I believe it was actually traveling to the east, southeast, and it made a big turn. Started going kind of south southeast as it moved on through Dawson and all that, went down the mountain and kind of just fell apart. Hopefully, I get to go out and do some better surveying later. Get some photos anyway. That's kind of the point. But very interesting pattern with the hay and the grass out there around where them trees were literally just spinned apart. Looks like it touched down right on top of the road and right there in that field, and then may have lifted and went on and done some more damage. But that was rated an EF1, winds of 93 miles per hour. So still watching now another area of broad rotation west of Addison. Looks like they're trying to follow that boundary. All right, looking at that on two different scans here west of Addison, and that very interesting pattern. Oh yeah, this thing is still rotating just to the west of Addison, getting up on top of Highway 278 here shortly near Barnett Chapel. There is an area of rotation there. Literally about to be on top of Barnett Chapel area. I'm going to watch that carefully. And you can actually see it rotating on the radar by just the way the radar scans are showing up. So we got some winds doing this currently. Sorry about that. Got me sidetracked. Give me just a second. Get my brain back to working. So that's what we got going on right now. Starting to see a little bit of a peak on that. So definitely rotation now, getting along Highway 278, going toward Addison. It's kind of in between, like right in the middle. If you're at Double Springs, further, it's in the middle of the highway there, but it's like right in the middle between Double Springs and Addison, like right in the middle there on 278. And that's going to be near Barnett Chapel. That's probably pretty high up in the storm. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. Let me see. We're going to beam from Birmingham because I believe we're a little bit closer. It looks even better from Birmingham. Going toward Addison, broad rotation showing up. We're a lot closer, I believe, to Birmingham. And Birmingham does beam a little bit better. So yeah, this one near Addison, that's pretty, got some broad rotation showing up. Yeah, we're still beaming pretty high up from high top. Seems like Birmingham may be a little bit lower. Another area of pretty decent concern now with this storm here near Gordo. Now that one's got some decent rotation in there, going toward Coker and the Tuscaloosa area. That one's got some nice rotation. Let's see. I have got to figure out what in the world that does. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what that scan does. It does something, but it absolutely just gets on my nerves because I click on it 1,000 times because it's so similar to the other one I use. All right, we're going to back off from that one. Get back up here. Yeah, seeing it's trying to tighten up now around Addison just a bit. That area rotation got a little bit closer than what it was. So worth watching. All right, so it looks like our big wind maker has made it through Moulton, and it's really pushing on out there. Yeah, that's still near Addison. Got my attention. So still seeing some high winds, up to 60 miles per hour, moving on off toward the Trinity area, Hillsboro, Decatur area next in line. Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. Another 26 minutes, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust possible as that pushes on off. It's in effect until 9:45 for southwestern Limestone, northwestern Coleman, and western Morgan and Lawrence counties. At 9:15 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles south of Town Creek to near Brushy Lake, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Trees and power lines were reported down in the Mount Hope area around 9:12. Not surprised a bit with that kind of wind. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Areas impacted will be Mount Hope, Trinity, Falkville, Speake, Neesmith, Basham, Wren, North Cortland, Landersville, and Battleground. I knew there was damage reports coming on that. All right, so everything over around Addison really broadened out now, so not really that much of a concern. But it did try there for just a minute. So what we're going to have to keep an eye on is we've got some storms ahead of it, and they're going in an opposite direction of what the main line is moving. So there could be some shear. There's definitely some shear ahead of it, and some of these storms, as they collide with this main line, with these winds, they could go ahead and produce a tornado. As you can see, it is colliding with a storm out ahead of it. So we'll have to keep a close eye on those as they do that. Make sure they don't start, quickly rotating or anything. And that's going to be what we have to watch with these storms as they do move in different directions. The storms out of the west are moving kind of to the east-northeast. Or, hey, look at that one more time. Let the scan run. It's actually moving to the east. I'll do run one more scan. Yeah, it's moving off to the east. These storms ahead of it are moving in a northeast direction. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on those as they interact, especially where the highest winds are at. But there is a ton of rainfall with this stuff. And sorry, I'm trying not to fall asleep here. Oh yeah, dogs can sense when there's severe weather, and yeah, it actually did come down close to Collinsville. I don't know that it moved into Collinsville, but it came close. Hello, Mr. Mike from Ider. Hope you're doing good. Oh Lord, Irish, that sounds like me today. I've been kind of up, down, all that good stuff. Yeah, severe thunderstorm watch still in effect again from Marshall, Jackson, and DeKalb, and good portion of the area. As this main line gets out, though, watches will probably be canceled back to the west. I didn't see anything else. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Hey, it was good. It's just I was having some internet problems because I forgot my drone needs internet to run to correctly sync with the app, and I had no internet. I forgot to even bring anything out there for the internet. So the footage was kind of funny at first, but I tried to keep it as close to the controller as I could. That way I had, somewhat of a good connection, but it does so much better with the internet connection. Like it's crystal clear, there's no glitches, but without it, it's glitchy. So it was just a little glitchy, but it still looked good. 71 in Collinsville. Yeah, you're warm. You've got some little bit of instability going on there, so we'll have to watch that. We're 64 degrees here at our station. We're actually cool. We're rather stable here, right here in Skirham. No problem, Wendell. Bradshaw, glad I could help out. And I realize I haven't ate supper yet. Probably why I'm falling asleep. Have to go, I guess, get something here in a minute, for a little while, whatever comes first. Oh, come on. There we go. I thought I closed everything down for a minute. But yeah, I plan on doing more surveying out, or well, I wouldn't call it surveying because the surveying's already done. What I'm trying to say is get more footage. That way we can, show everybody what actually happened at Crossville. There's not really anybody covering it. I did see the tornado myself, though, visually. I couldn't, of course, call it in as a tornado or a funnel cloud, but it looked like a funnel cloud to me. And that's why I reported it in as a lowering, because I couldn't say, hey, it's a funnel cloud, hey, it's, whatever, because the trees were in the way. But what I did call it in was a lowering. I said there's a lowering toward Crossville, Collinsville area on the radio, and sure enough, found out there was a tornado right in that area. So I was like, well, doggone, I was looking at a tornado that night. 71 in Collinsville. Yeah, we'll have to watch Collinsville because you are further south. But yeah, many, many years ago when I started doing weather for the first time, that's many, 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 many years ago, my goodness. Never thought I'd have this big of a following. It wasn't my plan to be popular, I'll just put it that way. I was never in there. My goal was to do it to keep people safe, not to get popular, not to make money, none of that. It was strictly to help people because the coverage in Northeast Alabama at the time, years ago, was pretty bad. It was actually horrible. So, yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot's changed. I'm glad to see it change it too. That was part of the whole goal was to make a change. Still seeing a really big area of wind on top of Moulton. Man, I feel sorry for y'all over in Moulton because that wind just seems like it's just hanging out. I bet you guys will be glad when that's out of there. It's kind of like a hurricane just sitting right on top of Moulton right now with those winds. Good grief. Unless that radar scan's not correct, and I'm pretty sure it is. So those storms now moving on off kind of toward Decatur. They are changing direction, though. I'm noticing that again. They're trying to shift more to the east. All right, so now these winds were moving northeast. I'm sure everybody remembers they were moving that direction. We've got some steering going on, and now it's wanting to move this direction. So that's going to put it moving kind of the east northeast currently. It's definitely steering around, changing direction. So we'll have to keep an eye on that area of damaging winds that may move into Marshall County and Jackson County here in the next hour or so. These storms are not moving fast. So it looks like the damaging winds are about to be on top of Coleman here pretty shortly. So I will have to go eat supper here pretty shortly. You know, I don't like leaving when there's severe weather, but I can tell my sugar's kind of going down, so I'm going to have to go eat supper here shortly. I'll more than likely leave this up, though, and leave it live. That way everybody can see at least what's going on until I get through. And then, you know, there's should be some severe thunderstorm warnings coming out for Marshall County shortly. Western Marshall County, rather. With this kind of wind coming in, I believe there should be a warning out. And they probably will be here pretty shortly. Yeah, those winds are definitely changing direction. So yeah, it'll be a little while probably before the warning's issued because I'm noticing the winds are pretty far back. But they are trying to pick back up, I'm noticing. So yeah, Marshall County kind of remain weather aware, especially if you're around Union Grove, Arab, Cherokee Ridge, Grant area. This will also be moving into Madison County shortly. Right now, though, we're watching it approach Princeton, Decatur, Faultville areas, and it's pushing off to the east-northeast. And it does have some strange behavior to the direction it's wanting to go. So if I didn't know better, I would swear that there was a wake low on the backside of this stuff. So if there is a wake low, there's going to be some destructive winds on the backside where this wake low is at. I swear it almost looks like there's a wake low there. All we can do as far as that goes is just wait for reports because wake lows are almost impossible to spot, and only way you can really spot them. Sometimes you can see them on radar swirling. Sometimes they're completely invisible and you can't, and all you can go by is reports. So far, I don't see any. Well, I take that back. I just seen a report come up. That was, of course, that was way earlier, 7:46. Okay, so it just now popped up for me. Tree fell on home. That's more likely with the winds that's coming through now. So still haven't seen any damage reports, which is weird. The storm is trying to strengthen back up. I'm noticing a lot of lightning with it. So there could be a wake low on the backside toward Moulton's what I'm thinking. That just don't add up how all that wind is just hanging out right in there behind all these storms. Usually the wind is going to be along that line there, which, I mean, it is pushing into it. It's just really hard to call that. Storm's now getting closer to moving into Marshall County. We'll keep an eye on it, see if Weather Service decides to put a warning out or not. But again, I do expect some of these cells to be pretty intense when they enter into Marshall County, regardless of what some have to say about it. All right, everyone, I'm about to go eat, so I will leave this up. I do appreciate everybody watching. Oh, the tornado threat's incredibly low with any of this, so just letting you know that. Incredibly low. For those asking, it's not zero, but it is incredibly low. I'm thinking that once it gets into DeKalb County, it'll weaken a bunch, but Marshall County, I don't think it's going to weaken a lot, especially when it first starts going through there. I think you'll probably have some gusty to maybe damaging winds. There's a possibility, but it really depends on how far the east the winds make it. There could maybe not be a warning issued out. We'll just have to wait and see. But it is getting close to Marshall County. So I'm going to step back, grab a bite to eat, and I'll continue covering here momentarily. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate it. And stay weather aware. We're not done with this. All right, new warning for Marshall County. Really?
Morgan County in north central Alabama, eastern Lawrence County in northwestern Alabama, at 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 9:37 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Louisiana to South Fulton near Dodge City, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs.
Oh, back at it again.
Locations impacted include Wilbur, Winrock, Valhalla, Silk Springs, Creedville, Speak, Lasham, Priceville, Painter, Union Grove, and Rabbit Town. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Large hail, damaging wind, and continuous clouds of ground lightning are occurring with these storms. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Alabama: Coleman, DeKalb, Jackson, Madison, Marshall, and Morgan. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Alrighty, we got another warning up. I was expecting that, but didn't expect them to extend it that far east, to be honest. All right. This is KO4FUN, all amateur radio operators. Be advised, the National Weather Service Huntsville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern DeKalb County and northeast Alabama. Hazards will be 60 mile per hour wind gust, and that is radar indicated. This is KO4FUN. All right, so let's read it all off. Weather Service Huntsville issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for Marshall County in northeast Alabama, southwestern Jackson County in northeast Alabama, southern Madison County in north central Alabama, southern Limestone County in north central Alabama, southwestern DeKalb County, northeast Alabama, Coleman County in north central Alabama, Morgan County, north central Alabama, eastern Lawrence County. All right, let me answer him back. Station calling, there is not currently a net going. This is KO4FUN. Okay, that warning in effect until 10:30. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from near Tanner to Falkville to near Dodge City, movement east at 50 miles per hour. 60 mile an hour wind gusts possible. Locations impacted: Wilburn, Limrock, Valamoso Springs, Crane Hill, Speak, Basham, Priceville, Painter, Union Grove, and Rabbit Town. So this is coming right at us. There's some of those winds. Definitely taking a big turn. And I am kind of concerned about rotation with these storms. So we'll keep an eye on it, see if it does continue what it's doing. But if you're in western portions of Marshall County, around Arab, Union Grove, Grant, Guntersville, Douglas, you're about to have some high winds come through, probably within the next little while. Could be up to 60 miles per hour. And same for DeKalb County. That warning covers Crossville, Collinsville, Geraldine, Lakeview, Fife, Rainsville, and Powell. It also goes into Jackson County, covers Scottsboro, Dutton, Section, Langston, Woodville, Espell, Paint Rock, and also we'll say Hollywood, Pleasant Groves, because they're like right there on the line of it. So just a big warning out for these storms, and that's due to the destructive winds that they're capable of producing. And I don't know why that keeps glitching. So I'm going to sit back here and grab a bite to eat and keep watching it. All right, I'm still here, just letting everybody know. Just trying to finish this food up before it gets here. The storms, anyway. Copy, Isaiah. Thanks a lot. What are you seeing over there? Roger that. Be careful out there. Some high winds coming your way. I do not understand why my phone hates my microphone here like it does, but for some reason, it does not like this microphone that I've got. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm going to go back quiet for just a moment. All right, we are back. And still watching this line of storms move in, some damaging winds possible. There is a severe thunderstorm warning out. It does include parts of DeKalb County, all of Marshall County, and parts of southwestern Jackson County. Some 60-mile-an-hour winds possible. Very heavy rainfall.
228 comes back on a 22. 2006.
Station 28, Jackson County EMA, you on frequency? Well, you send him a message real quick. He's probably aware of what's going on. He just might not have it on. So yeah, just a heads up to those that's having a party up on 46. There's a pretty heavy storms and high winds coming through. I can literally hear them singing from my bedroom here, which is pretty insane considering how far away I am. Might want to give them a heads up within the next probably 30 minutes to an hour. It's about to get pretty rough. So just a little heads up. And there goes everything on my end down, looks like. Let me try to get that back up. All right, so let's up the. It's about to move into western portions of Marshall County, around the Cherokee Ridge area. So you are starting to get some of those, probably getting some of the winds, and also thunder, lightning. I am seeing a good bit of that. But mesoscale discussion just going out. Okay, concerning severe thunderstorm watch 324 and 328. Severe storm potential will continue through late evening. A small Boeing segment has developed across northern Alabama late this evening, accompanied by rather strong flow aloft. That is definitely true. This Boeing segment will be moving across a region influenced by outflow from earlier convection, and both low-level flow and deep-level shear are not particularly strong. Of course, they're definitely not. That's why the tornado threat is rather low. So longevity of this system and its related severe potential are uncertain. In the short term, damaging winds will remain possible as the system surges east across North Alabama. Downstream watch issuance is possible if it appears this Boeing-like segment will maintain severe potential as it approaches northwest Georgia. Some tornado potential cannot be ruled out, especially if and when it merges into the larger QLCS. Threat may increase across central Alabama with time as the QLCS moves further across. So basically, pretty much what I've been saying. Watching these areas here, and then we got this area over here, kind of merging in, moving to this different direction. We'll have to keep an eye on those areas, different areas. Of course, the perimeters are not out the roof, but they are there. There are some shear there. So right here is a good example of what I mean with this colliding with other storms moving in a different direction. You can see this peak showing up. It's just blowing up on the radar. That's what I'm talking about. So seeing potentially some damaging winds there. Be approaching Highway 231. It's right over County Road 36, east of Somerville. I'm going to bet that's probably some rotation. So yeah, very unorganized. But we are at 64 degrees, so I really expect it to, continue to weaken us, especially when it moves into DeKalb County. But Marshall County may have a bit better instability and all that than we do. So if you're in western Marshall County, still under a severe thunderstorm warning, and it is making its way there. This is due to this big storm system coming in, this Bo Echo, damaging winds, and I am noting some rotation with it, which it's been doing that for a little bit. But very, very unorganized. Yeah, this is one big shelf cloud coming through. If you're able to see lightning with it, which I do see some lightning, these clouds are literally doing like this. They are rolling around. And that's what you're seeing on the radar here. And of course, they are colliding with some storms ahead of it too. So we'll have to watch, if enough rotation gets in there just right. It starts to go lower down. There could be, something to try to develop, but it's a very low possibility of it. But as mentioned in the latest discussion, it's not zero. But my concern with any tornadic storms would be if this system to the west collides with these storms to the east. Moving in a different direction, we'll just have to watch. All right, so all right, so I'll have to give any reports directly through text to him. He left his iPad in his truck, so we are noticing it weaken, which was expected. I'll get this right here in a minute. But there is still some areas of damaging winds showing up. Gusty to damaging winds with this as it pushes across. So those winds are about to be entering into western portions of Marshall County around Cherokee Ridge, eventually Union Grove area, Arab, starting to see those winds move in. And there's also some embedded areas of gusty winds coming toward the Huntsville area. And this big area wind here going across Highway 231 any minute now. South of Lily Flag area. and Cherokee Ridge. It's a little bit closer to the Cherokee Ridge area. All that also moving over Coleman and Holly Pond area. Stage 20, Skyward still monitoring the storms moving through. It has weakened just a bit, but my concern is still going to be with the areas further to the south, of course, as far as we got some storms that's moving to the northeast around Steele and Atala area, and then we got these winds coming out of the west to the east. Should be colliding with those areas of storms pretty shortly. Going to be watching that for any quick spin ups. Don't expect there to be any, but there definitely is a possibility of it. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. It goes until 10:30 for Marshall, southwestern Jackson, southern Madison, southeastern Limestone, and southwest DeKalb, Coleman, and Morgan counties. At 9:53 p.m., severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Madison to 8 miles southwest of Morgan City to near Bangor. Moving east at 50 miles per hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible. Areas impacted: Wilburn, Limrock, Valamoso Springs, Crane Hill, Priceville, Painter, Union Grove, Rabbit Town, Whitesburg, and McVille. I'm keeping an eye on this area to the west of Holly Pond, about to be on top of Holly Pond pretty shortly. So yeah, really seeing those winds weaken. There's definitely going to be some potential for still some embedded damage and wind gusts with this as it moves on to the east. So keep that in mind. I am seeing areas of embedded gusty to maybe damaging winds now, moving toward Owens Crossroads, New Hope, Huntsville, about to be on top of them, seeing a little bit of a spike increase in the winds there. That'll move on towards southwestern Jackson counties around Paint Rock, Woodville, Espell, Langston section, Dutton, Scottsboro, Hollywood, Woodville, Paint Rock, in case I didn't say it. Probably did. So yeah, right down here where these storms are starting to meet up is where I'm seeing that area of broad rotation. It is very broad, but it is there. And looks like they're trying to push in the same direction. I mean, they're really trying to. These storms are going kind of northeast, and these are moving off to the east, so we'll still have to watch it. There's a little bit of a direction change with them, but not much. Now these storms here are going in a totally different direction. They're going south. Really strange. So it looks like the heaviest now starting to move into the Union Grove area, Marshall County, Arab area, New Hope and Madison County, Owens Crossroads area, also moving through Huntsville shortly, approaching the Gurley area, Paint Rock, Woodville, and Jackson counties, also Langston pretty shortly. Sorry, I'm just kind of shocked at the messages that I'm getting about a certain topic that I won't mention. That's just that's hilarious. Anyway, yeah, for these things to be moving at 50 miles per hour, it seems more like they're moving at 15 miles per hour, just to be honest. The good news is, though, it does continue to weaken, but there's still going to be some high winds with it. That's one of the warnings in effect. And I applaud Huntsville. They've been giving, amazing, well above time warnings lately. Just absolutely a great job. I'm going to look at the chat here. Morgan County getting multiple calls of trees down in the Somerville area. No doubt. Don't surprise me a bit. That looks like some really high winds. Still ahead of the line there. But yeah, that sounds about right. I know, everybody, I'm tired too. I'm sorry. It's really boring, but that is a good thing. At least we're not talking about tornadoes touching down everywhere. No, it shouldn't get as bad as on the 20th. Hello, Justin Lee. Just saw your comment. And my lady watching, that's good. Hope you're doing good. Give you a call shortly. Good to see you on. All right, I'm going to answer some questions. Let me take a look at the high-res models. That is, if I can get my computer to cooperate. It might just be a little bit of me, too, because I'm tired. Still watching those two areas that's meeting up toward Holly Pond. All right, anyway, where was that? Go look at the high-res models and refresh. All right, newest high-res models pretty much show it colliding with those storms to the south, creating some heavier thunderstorms. Looks like going toward the Gadsden area, we will get some heavy rain, wind out of it. Really weakens out when it moves into DeKalb County, according to the high-res models here. But toward Gadsden could be pretty rough. Looks like it gets, the models are updating, so it keeps moving it. Looks like it gets into that area around 1 a.m., around the Gadsden area. And looks like we get some thunderstorm activity here in DeKalb County. Of course, off of this line that's coming through, it does show it. It shows some of those storms to the south making their way into DeKalb County. We'll have to watch those, but looks like they get here, if this thing will quit updating, around 11 o'clock. And the main line finally moves south, but we have some additional thunderstorm activity even behind it. Looks like it finally gets out of here. Holy mackerel, there's no way that's right. Let me back this thing up a little bit. Good grief. It's wanting to put it further out now, like the line getting south of here. Around 2 a.m. My gosh, that was a big change. Let's hope that's wrong. Really, really, really hope that that is, well, the main line obviously is going to come through. There's a ton of rain off to the west, so that's more likely what we're going to be dealing with. Some moderate to heavy rain, wind, all that stuff behind it. But it looks like the severe threat, we'll still have to watch it because looks like they still got that watching effect. But looks like we'll just be dealing with some maybe wind and rain after that moves on through. So this area of storms here, right here, the high resolution models has this moving into DeKalb County. And these two areas are going to collide together as they're just about to do now. We'll make its way into DeKalb County and also around Douglas, Boaz, and it'll move into DeKalb County at the current direction it's moving now. So far, everything is behaving itself at the moment, other than some high winds moving in. It looks like they're about to be in Girdley and entering into the western portions of Jackson around the Paint Rock and Woodville area. Now it's moving across Owens Crossroads and 431 and also New Hope and approaching Union Grove, about to be on top of them. Yeah, everything seems to be behaving pretty well. There is definitely some gusty winds, maybe damaging, moving through Union Grove right now. That'll be approaching Guntersville shortly. Then it'll make its way into DeKalb County. But first, it's got to move through Douglas, Grant, Guntersville, Albertville, Boaz, and then it'll get on into our county. And it should be weakening a good bit by that time. Let me give a quick update on my repeater here, just in case there's somebody listening wondering what's going on. This is KO4FUN, all amateur radio operators. Update from the Weather Service in Huntsville at 10:03 p.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Huntsville to 6 miles west of Arab to near Blunt Springs, moving to the east at 45 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible. That does include the southwest portion of DeKalb County in that warning. Areas impacted would be Wilburn, High Point, Limrock, Valamoso Springs, Coleman, Painter, Joppa, Union Grove, Crossville, and Rabbittown. This is KO4FUN, clear. So yeah, it is starting to weaken out a bit, but I'm noticing a little bit of a pickup there near Arab with as far as the winds, the storm itself goes. Man, this thing is spinning like crazy. And yeah, I still have people asking about the shirts and stuff. Have not got a price yet. I've got several people that's wrote me about it, so I'm going to check, see what I can do as far as prices go, hoping to get them as cheap as possible, of course. That way I can cover, get more for the price and be able to give them to everybody at a good price. Currently have not had time to even work any of that out with all this severe weather that we've been dealing with just about every day. So here comes our gust, our boundary, where all those winds are at. It is now going to be approaching the Guntersville area, so it's going to get a little windy there. Especially if you're up around Gurley, Paint Rock, and Woodville and Jackson County. Seeing some of the higher winds up there. No, we shouldn't be up all night over it. I mean, it's a really low severe threat the further east it goes. But the warning's still in effect. I know it's been a while. The Weather Service gave a really big heads up. I mean, I can't tell you. In Valley Head, you're not in the warning area. More than likely, this stuff weakens out as it gets into our area in DeKalb County. We'll still watch it. So, there's still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Until it cancels, I can't say, yeah, you're safe to go to bed because something might happen. I can't, say at the moment. Wow, Brandy, you've been following since December 2022? Good Lord, I don't even remember when I opened the page up. Seems like it was somewhere right in there or something. Well, basically what's causing all this is a stalled out cool front. It's just hanging out to our southwest. and we've just been getting front after front after front. Seems like we just can't get a break from it. There's that right there is what's causing all this mess. That cold front right there. It is just stalled out. Not moving at all. You can definitely tell where it's at. It's not really moving at all. That's what's causing all these storms. It's just been cold front at her front, and this thing extends a long ways. I mean, look at this, all the way back to the west. Looks like that is all the way back. Let's see here. All the way into Texas and Oklahoma. I mean, it just goes a long ways. This cold front here, and it goes even further west than that. I mean, it goes all the way, it just goes a long ways. Now, if you're west of this, around, let's say Salt Lake City, Sacramento, California, all that, it's hot. It is hot, dry, and miserable. And there is no way those are snowflakes. What on earth? I don't even know what that is. I want to click it and find out, but oh well. So now the winds are approaching the Guntersville Lake area. Douglas, Albertville, continuing to weaken as it moves off to the east. Warning still in effect, though. Until 10:30, so we got a little bit longer to go. Our last update was at 10:03. Really seeing it weaken as it moves east. Yeah, everything really is looking just fine at the moment. But the reason the warning is in effect the way it is because they don't expect damaging winds to get outside of this box area. In fact, there's a possibility the damaging winds don't even reach this warning box area, but it's just a heads up. Just in case it does. Now those winds are moving into Guntersville, Grant, Albertville, Douglas area. And they are on their way here. But by the time it gets to the east of that area, which let's say by the time it gets to Rainsville, Pine Ridge, Fort Payne, Sylvania, Henniker, Valley Head, Ider, all it's supposed to be, just gusty winds pretty much. And we're at 64 degrees, so I really think it's going to just completely fall apart. It looks like it's, feeding off of some of the instability up here as it moved past Huntsville, around the Gurley area, Paint Rock. There's some pretty high winds moving in to Paint Rock now in the southwest portion of Jackson County. Also into Woodville, there's some high winds there. Station 28 Skywarn update. Looks like the storms are now moving into the Grant, Guntersville area, and maybe be moving into the Albertville area shortly, as well as Douglas. I'm also entering into the Paint Rock area, also Woodville area, and southwestern and western portions of Jackson County. Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect until 10:30. 5 more minutes for southwest portions of DeKalb County, anywhere from Rainsville to Crossville. The Collinsville areas and all of Marshall County and the southwestern portions and western portion of Jackson County. After that, everything should be weakening on down a bit. Station 28 clear, 10:26. And I'd like to welcome Isaiah along to our group chat. Nice to have him along, by the way. I don't think I've even took time to say that. Really starting to hear some thunder out there right now, that's for sure. So we got a new cell developing along around Albertville. I can really hear the thunder. Starting to see some higher winds now showing up. Batch of some higher winds around Arab moving toward the Guntersville area in Albertville. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning for 2 more minutes. Yeah, but I don't think these winds will be that high when they get here, so it'll be canceling in another 2 minutes.
I know it's rumbling out there.
Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, I believe this front is going to stay stalled out where it's at. We'll have another threat of some storms tomorrow. I haven't really looked at the newest updated Storm Prediction Center outlooks, but I'm doing that now. There is a marginal threat of some more severe storms tomorrow. All of North Alabama. Marginal threat of severe storms on Tuesday. Just about all of Alabama, all of North Alabama anyway. All right, warning will expire in 1 minute. So it sounds like they're all right. Severe thunderstorm warning was canceled. This is KO4FUN, all amateur radio operators. The severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern DeKalb County has now been canceled at 10:30 and replaced with a special weather statement. Gusty winds possible from any of these thunderstorms, anywhere between 30 and 40 miles per hour possible. It's KO4FUN. All right, special weather statement. 10:27, strong thunderstorms along the line extending from Moore's Mill to near Gurley to near Guntersville to near Bluntsville, moving east. Movement was east at 35 miles per hour. I could have swore that thing slowed down. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Areas impacted will be High Point, Limrock, Larkin, Pine Ridge, Pisgah, Rosalie, Painter, Ryland, Crossville, and Henniger. Station 28 Skywarn severe thunderstorm warning canceled at 10:30 by the National Weather Service in Huntsville. replaced with a special weather statement that is going to be for strong thunderstorms, wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour possible. 10:27 p.m. Doppler radar tracking strong thunderstorms along the line extending from Moore's Mill to near Gurley to near Guntersville to near Bluntsville. Movement was east at 35 miles per hour. Again, wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Locations impacted: High Point, Limrock, Larkin, Pine Ridge, Pisgah, Rosalie, Painter, Ryland, Crossville, and Henniger. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. for north central and northeast Alabama. Station 28 clear, 1031. Alrighty, so we're no longer under a warning, so I need to get in here and correct some stuff. Hello, Isaiah Andrews. Yeah, you're the one I was talking about. Thanks for joining us here. Oh yeah, there's some nasty stuff coming out of the Rainbow City area. Yeah, the lines look pretty strange. That's for sure. And man, don't talk like that. I don't want no heat. I don't want no heat because when we start getting, that's my biggest worry is that this cool off is just kind of like a joke, and we're gonna get a big death ridge in here, and it's just gonna dry out and get hot and miserable. Oh Lord, no! Keep those things away. I don't want none of that. Now I'll take some sunny weather and warm conditions, maybe even hot, but keep the death ridges away. All right, everybody. So I won't keep everybody on here much longer. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here because, yeah, Brandy, you got a little bit to learn, but you're doing great. Everybody has to start somewhere. I had to start from the bottom and work my way up. So, it took many, many years, not something that happened overnight. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, though, here since the warning is canceled. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. And stay weather aware. The warning or the severe thunderstorm watch still in effect till 11. Expect some gusty winds to come through, maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour. Some won't get that much. Some might get around 30 to 50. But overall, of course, getting some reports of trees down across the area. So not surprising with these gusty winds. Anyone sees anything, please report it. Send it in my messages there. I've got a ton of messages I got to go through. Just haven't had time to do it yet. But I'll check them out. So thanks again. Like and subscribe on my Facebook and YouTube. And do appreciate it, everybody. We'll see you on the next update.